I'm Dr. Leanne Kessler, a consultant specializing in science communication and the evaluation of superconducting materials. It's Friday, April 3rd, and it's time for your Fusion News update. But before the update, it's been almost a year since Fusion News started, and we hope you've been enjoying the videos. Unfortunately, the Fusion Industry Association has to stop producing these videos until we find sponsorship, at which point we will start up again. In the meantime, the podcast version of these updates will continue, so you can still find all your Fusion news wherever you get your podcasts. But for now, we have a packed agenda for you today, so let's get to the news. Stories today include 1. First Light gives its best shot. 2. Whether cold fusion or low-energy nuclear reactions, U.S. Navy researchers reopen case. 3. Faster fusion reactor calculations thanks to machine learning. 4. Viable nuclear fusion energy could be a reality by 2025, says UBS. 5. Dounreay bid suggested for fusion power plant. 6. Tokamak Energy on track to be the first private company to achieve 100 million degree plasma temperature, paving the way to commercial fusion energy. I also have several bonuses for you at the end, so stick around. 1. First Light gives it its best shot. First Light Fusion was featured in Nuclear Engineering International after publishing a paper on the economics of inertial confinement fusion. According to their analysis, their new design could deliver a levelized cost of electricity as low as $25 per megawatt hour, less than the cited $50 per megawatt hour for wind and solar energy. First Light is pursuing a unique method of generating inertial confinement fusion, skipping the lasers typically used to compress targets in favor of using high-speed projectiles. Their current design is predicted to produce more energy per compression, allowing them to use fewer shots to get the same energy output, leading to more efficient electricity production. The team hoped to demonstrate first fusion on Machine 3, their current device, by the end of 2019. But technical challenges and complications from COVID-19 have delayed their schedule. According to CEO Dr. Nick Hawker, we have always believed fusion energy is not just deliverable, but has the potential to revolutionize energy. This new work shows how fusion can be cost competitive with all generation technologies. 2. Whether cold fusion or low-energy nuclear reactions, U.S. Navy researchers reopen case. Inspired by a 2019 Google-funded Nature paper exploring low-energy nuclear reactions, the U.S. Naval Surface Warfare Center, Indian Head Division, has formed a group of U.S. government labs to attempt to end the uncertainties surrounding cold fusion, as reported in IEEE Spectrum last week. While largely discredited after initial reports in 1989, cold fusion has continued to inspire interest. Recently, NASA has been pursuing lattice confinement fusion, and other studies found some anomalous results, which suggest some sort of low-energy nuclear reaction might be occurring in local hotspots of room temperature materials. The effort at Indian Head is focused on coordinating research between multiple groups and trying to determine the mechanisms, if any, driving the results. According to Oliver Barham, project manager at Indian Head, I am not worried about looking into something that is considered controversial as long as there's good science there. The whole point of our effort is we want to be doing good science. 3. Faster fusion reactor calculations, thanks to machine learning. This article from phys.org focuses on the thesis work of Dr. Aaron Ho of the Eindhoven University of Technology, who used machine learning techniques to predict plasma turbulence inside a tokamak. Ho developed a neural network model that he trained using experimental turbulence data. His model was able to replicate results from the typical model to within 10%, taking only 2 hours on a single core instead of 216 hours and 16 computer cores. In addition, this technique potentially could be expanded beyond turbulence calculations to other areas of plasma physics. This work is significant because accurate simulations and models that capture all relevant phenomena in a fusion device are often time-consuming, and finding workable solutions to make predictions that inform design decisions for future devices is an ongoing challenge. 4. Viable nuclear fusion energy could be a reality by 2025, says UBS. Analysts at the Swiss investment giant UBS have said that fusion could be a viable, commercially available energy source by the 2030s. Their statement references MIT professor Dennis White, one of the lead researchers on the MIT Commonwealth Fusion Systems collaborative project, SPARC. The bank stated that a successful fusion plant could change our otherwise pessimistic outlook on global carbon emissions and could also become a competing technology for renewable energy, which in turn may affect investor willingness to pay for wind and solar earnings over very long timeframes. 5. Dounreay bids suggested for fusion power plant. 2 locations in Scotland are submitting bids to be the location of the STEP reactor, or spherical reactor for energy production, the UK's planned compact reactor that is projected to produce electricity from fusion by 2040. The members of the Highland Council from Caithness, a county in northern Scotland home to 2 former fission research facilities, voiced their unanimous support for locating the power plant there. However, there is opposition from a local group that is deeply skeptical of the STEP project and would like the funds diverted to renewable options. The site for STEP is expected to be chosen by the end of 2022, based on a variety of social, commercial, and technical criteria. In a letter, Councillor Nicola Sinclair said, "In short, the STEP prototype fusion reactor is a critical opportunity to diversify the Caithness economy and to present a positive, long-term vision for the prosperity of our county." 6. Tokamak Energy on track to be the first private company to achieve 100 million degree plasma temperature, paving the way to commercial fusion energy. Tokamak Energy has generated the first plasma in its upgraded spherical tokamak, ST40. The Oxford-based company is projecting that they will achieve plasma temperatures of 100 million degrees, a first for a private fusion venture, in the coming months. CEO Jonathan Carling explained the significance of this goal, saying, "In the next few months, this device will achieve 100 million degree plasma temperature, far beyond anything achieved by other private fusion ventures, and the temperature required for commercial fusion energy." Finally, let's check out some bonus fusion news. Is nuclear fusion the answer? The Week published an article that explores whether or not fusion is a viable solution to the climate crisis. Commonwealth Fusion Systems, or CFS, First Light Fusion, and their different approaches to confinement were discussed. CFS, a Massachusetts-based startup, is planning to build a traditional tokamak with high-temperature superconductor, or HTS magnets, while First Light, out of the UK, is pursuing a novel projectile-based inertial confinement scheme. The piece also mentioned efforts to develop small-scale fission reactors. Understanding imperfections in fusion magnets. Richard Ibekwe, a graduate student at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, was featured in an MIT News profile. Ibekwe is an MIT Energy Fellow, sponsored by CFS, and his work focuses on studying defects in superconductors. Specifically, he is looking at the differences between defect tolerance in low-temperature and high-temperature superconductors, along with quantifying defects and their use in HTS magnets. New videos from FIA and General Fusion. Both the Fusion Industry Association and General Fusion released new videos last week. General Fusion's video shows their proposed fusion demonstration plant, while the FIA video discusses the basics of fusion and its benefits to the world. The FIA video was made in collaboration with General Atomics and Princeton Plasma Physics Laboratory for Fusion Day on Capitol Hill. Check out our YouTube page to see the FIA video and find a link to the General Fusion page. You can also find links in the description. Bill Gates' Reddit AMA. Bill Gates recently did a Reddit Ask Me Anything, or AMA, focused on his book, How to Avoid a Climate Disaster. In response to the question, what niche technology do you believe could play a significant role in the future in the battle against climate change? Gates said, "We need a lot of technologies. Synthetic meat, energy storage, new ways of making building materials. We want to be open to ideas that seem wild. Fusion might come along, but we can't count on it." This exchange was also quoted in the CNBC article that covered the AMA. Cruisin' for non-conventional fusion with ARPA-E. ARPA-E, the U.S. Department of Energy's Advanced Research Projects Agency for Energy, released a new request for information, which focuses on non-thermonuclear DT fusion approaches. The agency is seeking input on fusion concepts that avoid 2 of the challenges of DT, or deuterium-tritium fueled fusion: production of tritium fuel and activation of materials by high-energy neutrons. The ARPA-E blog discussed this via an interview with Program Director Dr. Scott Hsu. That's all for Fusion News this week. Please like and subscribe for more Fusion news and check out the links in the description if you want further information.